I wrote about this yesterday in a fun piece, the House Speaker fight, because ultimately that's really what all this is coming down to. They tried voting for Jim Jordan because what is the substitute? What is the replacement? I mean, the difference between what the grassroots did back in 2009 and what's happening now is that when grassroots pushed, remember Eric Cantor, he was one of the three young guns. When they pushed to oust Eric Cantor, grassroots had substitutes like Dave Bratt waiting in the wings. They had grassroots, we had people all over the country. And I mean, when you look back, this is back in 2014. When he ended up taking out Eric Cantor raised 25 times more than Dave Bratt's budget. That's crazy. And yet he was still removed from his position, removed from office. And then Paul Ryan was unceremoniously dethroned. He actually came up in Wisconsin being a friend of grassroots, and then that changed. So there isn't a substitute. I hear all the time these people that talk about, oh, well, this is the process playing out. No one's talking about the process. I find that to be a really specious argument. No one's talking about the process. The criticism is that nobody has an alternative. Give me an alternative that is able to get to 218, because it's not Andy Biggs. Jim Jordan doesn't want it. Chip Roy doesn't want it. I don't know if Steve Scalise can get to 218. He's nice, but I also don't know if Steve Scalise is going to be able to push around some of the more moderate members that have seniority in the House. I don't know. These are all things that people have to think of. So this whole specious argument I kind of find offensive. Actually, it pisses me off, if I'm being honest, because it's stupid. I see people are like, oh, this is about the debate. Oh, shut the hell up. It's not about the debate. And I say that lovingly. This is about there's no alternative. No one's criticizing the debate. There's just no alternative. No one's saying that, oh, well, they shouldn't hash this out. There's no alternative. If you're going to have a debate, that usually means you're debating about the alternative or the choice that you have, correct? Who do they got? They're throwing noodles at the wall. And I'm saying House members. Now, if you're asking me personally, which I can't believe anyone would not know if they've ever listened to me for more than, 1 hour, I would prefer Jim Jordan. How many times, Kane, have I asked him? Every time he's been on the show.
The last 2 times for sure.
I'm like, so when are you gonna go for our House Speaker? When are you going? And he's done with me asking him. He's like, I'm not going for House Speaker. No, I'm not. I tell you what, I'm not gonna. I was asking people. I was burning up some of my contacts yesterday. I'm like, okay, so, because the Jordan vote, people were switching their votes to Jordan yesterday, and I really do think. It is a play, but I also, as I wrote, I don't think that this is the plan. People keep going, well, and by people I mean surrogates of different House members. Oh, there's a dark horse. There's no dark horse. Good grief. There's no dark horse candidate. And Jim Jordan is not a dark horse move. Here's why. Because Jim Jordan doesn't have the patience for this drama. He's not. I want you to realize, and I'm mad for people, and I wish people would get mad for themselves instead of on behalf of a politician. Your time is being wasted right now. Again, for the people who say this is part of the process. This is democracy. This is a debate being hashed out. A debate is over an alternative and another choice. There's no alternative. So that's where the criticism is. The fact that people are pulling this performative bitching at a time, and forgive my Portuguese, but I'm a little aggravated. I mean, have we all not been excited for this day? I want to see IRS agents fired. I want to see the power of the purse used to limit our tax burden. That's what I want to see. And instead we got this. And the media is delightfully using it as a dodge for accountability. It's drowning out the latest Twitter file dump, in which you have actual sitting Democrat members of Congress telling these social media companies to ban people. This is drowning this out. We have more jobs numbers in. It's bad. This is drowning this out. All the taxes that you're going to start paying this year, this is drowning it out. So yeah, I'm a little ticked off. Because you have people who are pulling a stunt. And unless you look, momentum is garbage unless you have actual action. Doing this doesn't mean anything. There's no alternative. And it's not like this was a surprise speaker vote. I mean, it's not like they were all just surprised with this when they walked into the House of Representatives the first day that they're being seated. Oh my gosh, we have a vote? We got to pick a speaker? This is such a surprise. We didn't know this was going to happen. We did not know that this is the way it was done and has been done for over a century. You see why I'm aggravated. All of everything that we're seeing is drowning it out. So where's the alternative? And that's the big question. Clerk says a quorum is present. They've already started their fourth round. So we'll see. I don't know. We'll see. And everybody's fighting. Nancy Mace is fighting with Matt Gaetz. Matt Gaetz is trying to distance himself from Trump any way he can because he's going to hedge his bets on Ron DeSantis. I'm just calling everybody's moves out. I'm not saying anything ill of anybody. I don't dislike Gaetz at all. I mean, do not mistake me exercising my duty as a citizen and not being best friends with elected officials and instead holding them to account. Do not mistake that as hatred or dislike. It is your job. It's your duty as a citizen. He's just trying to, he's making his bets. He's looking at 2024. He's going to try to ingratiate himself with DeSantis, and that means pulling away from Trump. That's what Gaetz is doing. Gaetz is looking at he's playing political long ball and trying to preserve his career. That's what he's doing. He doesn't want his influence to wane the further away in time Trump gets from office. So that's what this is. But everybody's fighting. Everybody's fighting. It's so stupid. So there were a lot of concessions made, and we're going to talk about some of that. The concessions that are being made. But, this isn't like, again, this isn't rocket science. It's not like House Republicans were surprised with this. The first day. Look, I lay a number of issues at McCarthy's feet, but his opposition's lack of preparedness is not one of them. So, I don't know. Like I said, I don't really think that this is Jim Jordan making a play. I think that he would, and I'm going to tell you one other thing too. There is no way in hell Jim Jordan's going to go for this. You know what has to happen for Jim Jordan to go from this? And I know this from a very good source. Kevin McCarthy would basically have to step down and burn his certificate as wannabe speaker and do something really dramatic. Step down and step away from the position. Move his stuff back out of the speaker's office. Do all that stuff. Get away from it. And basically move Jim Jordan's stuff into the speaker's office himself before Jim Jordan would even so much as reluctantly consider the idea. That is how bad Jim Jordan wants to be chairman of House Judiciary Committee. That's how bad he wants it. It's a powerful job, man. And really, when you think about it, House Speaker, you don't have to know any parliamentary procedures for the House Speaker. It's House Speaker. You basically have to you got to be a hard ass. And you have to make it to where people they're doing what you need them to do. You got to be tough. Jim Jordan is not going to waste everybody's time on this and have all this theater and not come out of the gate with a declaration to run. There's no point in waiting for a third, fourth, or fifth ballot.